What's up, guys? We're back with another fucking video breakdown best bets for UFC 303. We're gonna get right into it, starting on the early prelims. I'm gonna blitz through these ones pretty fast, and then we're gonna get into the nitty gritty with the main card. We got a stacked main card, international fight week coming up. I'm so pumped for this. Some of these fights I did not watch tape, but I'll let you know on the ones that I did. And, anyways, I'm really excited. Let's get into this. First off, Vinicius Oliveira. You already know I'm rocking with my dog. I don't care if he's an underdog. I think he was an underdog versus Sopaj. And yeah, this guy's fucking insane. Get ready to see this crazy guy do some crazy stuff. Listen, this guy's off a 2-fight losing streak. Ricky Simon, I think he's a pretty good wrestler. Sangedong and Mario Bautista, those are very respectable losses. But I think it's the Vinicius Oliveira era. This guy's crazy. Look to see a knockout, a second round or the third round. His first round, he's always kind of sketchy. But when he's in the fight, when he's ready, this guy is a live dog. So don't be afraid to bet on this guy. Next one, Carlos Hernandez. Carlos Hernandez versus Ray Tsuruya. Okay, this guy's a massive favorite, I believe. Yes, minus 450. I think if you're betting on this, you don't bet Ray Tsuruya because minus 450. This guy should be finishing everyone in the first round, right? I don't think Carlos Hernandez gets finished in the first round or at all by Ray Tsuruya. I think this fight goes to decision. Look, if I'm making a pick, I'm gonna pick Tsuruya by decision, right? Like many people agree. I don't could be a submission later on, but if I'm making a bet, I'm gonna bet Carlos Hernandez by decision because when you're going to the end of the third round, you can't really rely on these judges, man. They're all over the place. So why not be betting on the guy that shouldn't win, especially at plus 350. I think it's a pretty smart bet. No one should be dropping any money on Saruya money line. I mean, most likely this guy should win, but going into the third round, if it's a close fight, you don't want your money on the guy that's minus 450. You want it on the guy that's plus 350. So I'm gonna bet Hernandez, but I'm picking Saruya decision. Next, Andrei Arlovsky versus Martin Boudet. I think Andrei Arlovsky's a live dog in this fight. Listen, he has the experience. He's an underdog. He's older. I know he's older. He's the oldest guy in the UFC, 45 years old. But he has so much experience, and Boudet, I think, is pretty much a can at this point. He's not very good. I think Arlovsky can use his jab very effectively, and I think he can win a decision versus Boudet. I think he's going to spoil the party. He's going to, at a plus 210 underdog, pretty good underdog to bet on, honestly, and I'm going to go with Arlovsky by decision. Not much more to say. We have Michelle Watterson versus Jillian Robertson. Jillian's been training at, what's it, Goat something? Yeah, the Goat Shed. Her jiu-jitsu is pretty slick. Her wrestling needs some work. I mean, she has like a pretty decent single leg. I think if she catches Michelle Watterson, pretty good kickboxer, but she's horrible off her back. And I think if Jillian's able to wrestle her down, she's going to get the best of Michelle Watterson. I would bet Jillian on this, even at minus 185. I would probably bet Jillian by submission or decision. I'm going to lock in submission. Let's go second round. I think first round, maybe they're going to test the waters a bit. Maybe Michelle stuffs a couple of her takedowns. But I think this should be the last fight for Michelle. I don't know how her contract's going, but yeah, I think it's time to retire for her, and it's the Jillian Robertson's time now. So, next fight, Peyton Talbot versus Yanis Gamori. Peyton Talbot is a massive favorite now. I was very heavy on, look, minus 1,600. We're never going to get him when we got him versus Cameron Simon. What was he, like, I believe like minus 120 or something like that, minus 150. It was crazy. I was so big on Peyton in that fight. I said Peyton's gonna win. Peyton's gonna win. Peyton's gonna win. Later in the fight, I said Peyton over 1.5 rounds. I actually bet for a finish in the second and the third round. I got that. I won that. I cashed that ticket. That was a good bet. But I knew I was like, okay, well, we're never getting him at this price ever again, and it clearly shows. Do I think Peyton's going to win this fight? Yes. Do I think it's going to be dominant? Yes. Do I think it's going to be first round? No, I think it's going to be the third round. I think it's going to be either a third round finish or a decision. Yanis Gamori, he's tough to put away. Yeah, he got knocked out in his last fight, but he's very durable. This guy. Um, I think it's going to be a great fight. It's going to be a great showcase for Peyton. It's going to be a big opportunity for him. And yeah, he's going to be able to showcase his skills. Very slick kickboxing. And let me know if any of you guys have seen the Peyton Talbot vape video. If you know what I'm talking about, comment it below. Anyways, Charles Jourdain versus Gene Silva. Guys, listen, I'm from Montreal, from Quebec. Charles Jourdain's from Quebec as well. He trains, I think he lives in Laval. You know, this guy's a hometown hero. I love Charles Jourdain. His fights are always so fun. I was there watching him in Toronto when he lost. But I listen. I'm always gonna cheer for Charles Jourdain, but I think this fight, also the fact that Jean Silva missed weight, very very leans heavily towards Silva. I'm gonna be 100% cheering for Jourdain. I hope I'm wrong, but I'm gonna go Gene Silva by decision. I hope I'm wrong, but I'm gonna go Gene Silva by decision. Gene Silva is part of the fighting nerds. They study their opponents, but I think Gene Silva is the least nerd out of all the fighting nerds. This guy throws caution to the wind, but it works. And let's say if he's gonna be reckless and he's gonna be boxing and stuff like that, I think Charles could catch him. I think this fight goes all 3 rounds. Most likely goes all 3 rounds, and I think it's going to be in favor of Gene Silva if it goes all 3 rounds because Charles, when it gets to the ground, he likes to lay on his back there. He looks for submissions. He's good. He's very good off his back. He has wonderful guillotines, but he stays there too long, in my opinion. Listen, I'm no expert, but yeah, I think he stays there too long, and I'm gonna go Gene Silva to win by decision. But yeah, no, I think Gene Silva's probably going to win, especially that he missed weight. But I'm 100% cheering for Charles. I hope I'm wrong. Because I like the fighting nerds too, but bro, this guy, he's from Laval. I'm from Montreal, so I have to cheer for him. And he's super, super, super funny if you guys follow him on Instagram. Next, Cub Swanson versus Andre Feely. What? I feel like these guys already fought. Oh, no, he just fought Danny Gay. Yes, 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 yes. Cub Swanson. Yeah, this should be a loss, by the way. The judges are retarded. Sorry, excuse my language, but very, very stupid decision. I think Andre Feely should win this fight. Cub Swanson's aging. He's a fucking beast, though. He's definitely a fucking beast. But this should be a great fight. If Feely still has a chin after that scary knockout, if Feely still has a chin, I think he should take this one by decision. So I'm going to go Andre Feely by decision. Now, Joe Pfeiffer versus Marc-André Bario. Once again, Bario is from Quebec, from Gatineau. He's a beast. He trains in Florida somewhere. I forgot. Killcliff, yes. Killcliff, very, very good camp. Joe Pfeiffer kind of not got exposed, but he got front checked by Jack Hermanson. Showed that he can't really compete at the top 5 just yet. I think this guy definitely could be a future champion, and this is going to be a very tough test for him. Not a very tough test, but it's going to be a test for him to see, okay, you beat all these other guys, which Abdul Razak Al Hassan, very good win. We're going to see, can he beat Bario, because Barrio's a veteran. He's been here for a while, and he's very, very good. So I'm going to pick Joe Pfeiffer to win by decision. I think it's going to be a very good fight, very close fight. Like, once again, I'm going to be cheering for Bario, but I think Pfeiffer's probably going to win this one by decision. I don't think he's going to be able to knock out Bario because Barrio's a very tough guy, very big middleweight. But so is Joe. Joe's pretty big too, and he's very, very strong. He has one of the hardest punches in the UFC. So let's see how this goes. I don't know. I don't have any good bets for this one, but I'm picking Pfeiffer. Now, this fight I did a lot of tape on. Ian Machado Gary versus Michael Venom Page. Listen, guys. On paper, this fight seems like it's going to be a wild fight, crazy fight. Two very crisp strikers, fast, blitzing in and out. But then you look at, okay, they're both counter strikers, right? What happens when two counter strikers fight versus each other? You get Francis Ngannou versus Derek Lewis. You get Israel Adesanya versus Yoel Romero. You get pretty boring fights, and I think this is gonna be one of them. Sadly, like the odds are pretty close. I'm gonna pick Ian Gary by decision, but I get on my knees and pray to God Michael Venom Page knocks him the fuck out because I do not like this guy Ian Gary. I really do not like him. He's a piece of shit. He's not fun to watch. He's not fun to listen to. And his last few fights have been very, very boring. I'm not gonna lie. And I think he's gonna be the one that makes it boring. Venom Page, maybe he's gonna try to blitz in, blitz forward, but Ian's gonna be running away the whole time, I believe, and he's gonna look to counter. You know, we'll see. But I have a pretty good bet on underdog fantasy. You take the under 55 strikes for Ian Gary. Yeah, if you do under 55 strikes for Ian Gary and you pair that up with Alex Pereira over over half a strike, so he just has to land one strike. Put $100 on that. That's $300. So get on underdog fantasy, make that bet. You're gonna be happy. Yeah, not much more to say. I believe this can be one of the most boring fights on the card. I hope I'm wrong, and I hope Michael Van Page gets a highlight reel knockout on this stupid cuck Ian Gary. Next, no one cares. Next, Anthony Smith versus Roman Dolidze. I believe Roman's gonna win this fight. He's moving up from middleweight to light heavyweight. He was a pretty big middleweight. We're gonna see how he is against Anthony Smith, who's a decent sized light heavyweight. I'm gonna pick Delite. Just this guy's been on a pretty much a. Oh, he lost his last two. I can't forget about this. From Marvin Vittori, aren't they from the same camp? Nasruddin, I remember that one. Listen, I haven't taped this one too much, but I'm gonna pick Delite by knockout second round. Delite knockout second round. We've seen Anthony Smith getting knocked out by Khalil Roundtree. Decision, Johnny Walker. Yeah, and the Petrino one, that one we don't talk about it. That was literally the only fight I didn't get right on the Brazil card. This stupid idiot. But this guy's delusional. If he does win over Roman, it's a pretty big win. But the Caucasian, I didn't realize that was his nickname. Yeah. Anyways, yeah, this should be a pretty good fight. I'm looking forward to it. The fight I'm looking forward to the most. To the most. They changed this to lightweight actually, so it does change things up slightly because Brian Ortega is gonna probably be a little bit bigger than Lopez. Because apparently Brian was making a move up to lightweight when they called him and they said, "Okay, come fight Diego." So he had to go back down, and we just found out recently that he's not gonna be able to make weight, so they're changing it to lightweight. How does this affect the matchup? I think Brian's gonna be much bigger going into the fight, but guys, listen. When two jiu-jitsu guys meet, you don't see much grappling. I don't think we're going to see much grappling in this fight. That being said, who's the better striker of the two? It's Diego Lopez. That being said, does he knock out Brian Ortega? Brian Ortega, one of the toughest motherfuckers I've ever seen. This guy, if you look at his record, everyone he fought them when they were in their prime. You know? He's fucking insane. He's fighting the craziest guys. He's just every time taking so much damage, and he's very hard to get out of there. The Volkanovski fight was it? It went to decision. I thought they ended. Ah, yes, it was. That fight should have been stopped in the end of the fourth round. But this guy's fucking tough, man. Very tough. The beating he took against Yair, and he was able to come back and get the submission. Do not sleep on Ortega. I'm gonna say this fight probably, even the crazy finisher that Diego Lopez is, might go decision. This fight might go decision, and they're gonna base it. They're gonna score it off damage. I believe Diego Lopez is gonna do more damage. So that being said, I'm gonna pick Diego Lopez by decision. I think it's gonna be a crazy, crazy fight. This fight's probably gonna be fight of the night. I'm looking forward to it a lot. So two crazy Mexicans going at it. Sign me up. Sign me up. Now, we have Alex Pereira versus Yuri Prohaska. Official prediction. Boom. Knockout no primeiro round. Gancho de esquerda na cabeça. For those of you that don't speak Brazilian, Portuguese, like me, a fluent Portuguese speaker, I do jiu-jitsu by the way. That means Alex Pereira, first round, KO. Left hook. Realistically, this fight you played 100 times, Alex wins 51 times, and Yuri wins 49. Both guys have suspect chins, very suspect chins. I think last fight, couple times that Yuri almost knocked Alex out, had him in dangerous areas, but the story of the fight, I have to say, the leg kicks and the left hook, but from Alex. You know, those are his two best weapons, and he uses that. Like it's like you know what he's gonna do, and he still does it and gets away with it every single fight. He's a fucking beast. This guy. He's on a terror. He's unstoppable. Right? I'm supporting the homie 100%. My favorite fighter. Am I biased? Probably. You know, am I delusional? Probably. But we're still betting Alex. We're picking him to win, and everyone fucking agrees with me. Right? Minus 145, we're slamming that money line. And underdog fantasy, over zero point 0.5 strikes. We're going to pair it up with Ian Gary under 55 strikes, making $300 from a $100 deposit. Let's get this money, baby. Let's do it. Those are the official predictions. Thank you for watching. Let's make some fucking money. Woo!